I was in a meeting yesterday, and someone in that meeting shared something that I had shared with them quite a while back, and it was a practice that I have had for many years now. And this person shared it with the rest of the group because she wanted to encourage them to do the same thing, to use the same practice, having discovered how beneficial it was for her. I'd like to share that practice with you today. Some of you would have already heard me say this, but for anyone else who's new to this channel, maybe you might be interested in this as well. It's not an original thing. There are lots of people who have advocated this kind of practice. And so here's my version of it. So when you wake up in the morning, before you even open your eyes sometimes, even while you're transiting from the alpha to the beta state of consciousness, it's the best time to do this practice for a number of reasons. The first is that your mind is, or your brain, I should say, and your whole body in this state of consciousness is most receptive to new ideas and new orientations. That's the first thing. The second thing is that, the currents, the surge of past history that may have been troubling you, which were laid to rest briefly while you were sleeping sometimes, but now, out of pure habit, surge forth yet again if you don't interrupt it or intercept it with this kind of practice. And so what is a practice? Well, as I said, just before you definitely before you get out of bed, while you're still in bed, just lie there and begin to intend for yourself how you would like the day to flow. And what I do is I actually think in terms of how I would like to feel throughout the day, and I'll bring to mind various activities or events that I know I'm going to be engaged in during the day. And some of them are just maybe routine things, but some of them, although they are regular events, can be spaces or times where I might feel a little bit of stress or even a lot of anxiety approaching it, or as I think about how things are going to go. Usually meetings are, those kinds of events. Not all meetings, obviously, but some kinds of meetings are the kinds where I might begin, feel quite anxious. So when I bring these to mind and give myself permission to intend a different state that I want to inhabit while I'm in the meeting, or, as I said, whichever activity that I'm thinking of, I intend for how I want to feel, and I make sure that I allow my body to actually feel what it is that I want to feel before the meeting, during the meeting, before the event, during the event, and after the event. And sometimes when I'm running workshops, for example, I know again how I want to feel before, during, and after. And so my intentions are very much grounded in how I want to feel, and I allow my body to actually rehearse those feelings. So it may be things like, I want to feel just light and joyous, and I want to feel so free and so open and so receptive, and I want to feel like I am just having such a good time. And I want to feel confident. I want to feel like I am doing something, engaging in something that really excites me, because I want to, and I want to feel that excitement. I want to feel that enthusiasm. And then what I often also do is I might intend for others who might be involved to also feel joyous and free and full of excitement, and feel confident and feel open and receptive. And notice, I'm not thinking in terms of specific outcomes. Like, it's not goal driven as such. I don't want to say we have success, but I want to say this is how I want to feel. That my intentions are around how I want myself and sometimes others also to feel. And I might say something like, and that we, bring things, resolve things in a way that serves the good of all. Now that is an important, a critical way to close this intention and feeling exercise. That, however things turn out, they will serve the good of all involved, no exceptions. So that is a practice that I have been doing for years. And as I said, someone in the group yesterday, shared with the group how she has benefited so much from doing the practice herself, and was encouraging the others in the group to do the same. Now, there is another practice that I would like to share with you today. And in a sense, and this has come as a more recent revelation to me, or recent realization to me, and that is, it's around, built around Rumi's poem, The Guesthouse. I don't know if you are familiar with that poem, but if you're not, I strongly encourage you to go read that poem, and read it often. But essentially what it says is, it acknowledges that every day, we might be besieged or visited by various kinds of thoughts and feelings that are not really pleasant. In fact, they can be terribly distressing. But instead of blocking them or resisting them or pushing them out of the way or denying them or pretending that, ignoring them, pretending that they're not there, or trying in some way to subdue them, what he says is treat them like guests. Treat them like guests. Because they come with messages. Now, I have, used this in the following way. So when I work with people, this is what I encourage them to do. I encourage them to use a bit of visualization and imagery. And I say, go to the door, or keep your door open for the guests. And as they come in, warmly welcome them and seat them at the table and ask them what they want, and offer them some of your finest, beverages and snacks or food or whatever else, according to what it is that they want. And so I'm talking about, distressing thoughts and feelings and so on. And imagine doing that. I mean, as I've had some pretty distressing thoughts and memories and feelings, right? And when I do this, my goodness, what a shift, what an energetic shift it brings about. I don't necessarily indulge the guests with their stories. I mean, if they want to say anything, I'll say, I'll just listen. And then, but meantime, I'm saying, so what's your favorite drink? What can I offer you? A wine, a red, white, or, something else. And I have this very confrontational attitude towards these thoughts and these feelings. I have a very, inviting and hospitable attitude towards them. And what that does is it just, dissipates the fear and the tension and the um, anger or resentment or whatever else it is that are there, because these thoughts, these guests, which are our thoughts and feelings, they're just there to show us that this is what is active in our body. It's just giving us that feedback. It's just telling us, hey, these are things that are stirring in your consciousness, in your subconsciousness, if you will. But we are coming forward to, let you know, make you more aware of them. Okay. And so if they're there, then meet them warmly as guests and offer them your best. But see what is happening. These might be thoughts and feelings of fear or resentment or anger or, a sense of betrayal or a sense of unworthiness or a sense of shame, right? And that's what comes to you. And what are you doing instead? You are offering love. You're offering love. So, I've been thinking recently more, it just occurred to me, wow, I let my guests know that this guest house is a house of love, a house of beauty, a house of grace, a house of kindness, a house of openness, a house of receptivity, It's a house of willingness. And so whatever type of guest comes along, what you're offering them, which is really offering yourself, is love and more love, kindness and more kindness, joy and more, peace and more peace, grace and beauty and more and more of it, lightness and freedom and more of it, confidence and whatever else that you truly want. So I thought I would share that because I know how amazingly useful it is. And by the way, your guests don't just arrive first thing in the morning. They arrive at any time of the day or night. And you can use this at any time of day or night. Okay, if you're watching this and if you have some thoughts or ideas or experiences around this that you would like to share, please do in the comments. I would love to read them. And in the meantime, wherever you are, day or night, I wish you, as I would wish all my guests, and offer them all the peace and the beauty and joy and kindness and grace and love that life offers us. Bye for now.